Alright, what's up guys? Clutch here, and I'm going to be covering some quick tips for Riftstorm. I have been working on a review for this game for early access, and these are some things that I've learned along the way. Before we start, please like and subscribe. I'm going to be covering this game throughout all of its early access, and we're going to be covering this game up to 0.6.22 right now. Our first tip is Lithonic Restoration. Always grab this, it is a free self-revive. You don't start with one automatically. A lot of the characters are pretty squishy, and if you don't have this and you die halfway through the mission, you're going to be pretty bummed for wasting that time. Make sure to grab this. You're gonna need it especially for missions like Extermination, where you have bigger boss fights at the end. Anticipate the materials that you need. Here I have a list of the enemy weaknesses for each type of mission and the materials that will be dropped by those enemies. You're gonna check all of your skill trees and see which materials you need, and if you don't have the skill points yet but you got some missions to do, go through and hunt down some of these materials, so that way by the time you get the skill points you'll have what you need. If you check the emblems here on the right side, those are containment, extermination, and investigation. Those are materials that you get specific to those missions. Alright, Rift Exposure Zones. This is where you're going to get a Lithonite, which is needed to max out any of your skill points. You'll need about 15 of those for any skill point, and each zone only drops about 20. So right now these are random. They spawn in investigations and in extermination missions, sometimes urgent missions. Make sure to do them and check your map every single time that you're playing. You can hop in and out of maps to see if they spawn in your map if you need to hunt them down faster. Actively hunt Weaver data seeds. You're going to need about 14 or 15 for any of the characters. Make sure to hop into any of the urgent missions as they pop up, and if you're having issues finding them, you can hop into some co-op missions, and I'll cover that here in just a second. Alright, don't open every single container on the map. I know that a lot of you completionists out there are going to feel like you need to open every single thing. Don't do it, because you're just going to waste your time. You could just be rushing through the missions to get the materials you need a little bit faster. Alright, utilize co-op lists. So go through and check your filter for public only to get rid of the private matches. And then you can check through all of the mission parameters, the different damage types that are going to appear, some of the different negative modifiers that can pop up, and then you'll see the possible loot that's on here, as well as the clear rewards for each mission. So these are a really good way to find more data seeds if you need them, or if you're just trying to get in on some co-op play. Alright, don't rush boss fights. A lot of the boss fights are pretty heavy in AoE damage, and a lot of the damage that comes from these bosses goes straight through your shield to your health. So if you've already used your revive, you need to be careful. Just take your time. There is no timer on this. Wait for your abilities to recharge. There's no rush. Do not die to something stupid when you're just seconds away from finishing the mission. Alright, save your creds. You're going to need these to craft weapons, buy augments, level up skill points, repair scars. Don't go wasting them on smaller weapons that you don't need. Don't waste your creds on repairing scars right now, unless it's a legendary weapon that you really want. But it's really hard to come by creds, so make sure to be smart with how you spend them. Alright, last tip is don't grind too hard. There is a lot of content coming. Even for this year, we have some new content coming out every month until the end of the year. They have already released a roadmap that's going to cover 2027 and 2028, which I think is when we're going to get the 1.0 release. Just take your time. There's a lot of content coming. Don't feel like you need to grind through all of it right now. Just get the base experience, maybe max out a character, and then you can probably put the game away for a month or so as they patch new things. Thank you guys for checking out these tips on Riftstorm. Please remember to like and subscribe. I am going to be covering this game throughout early access. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.